As the Doge becomes more and more popular, as usual, more and more politicians are piling on. All of a sudden, and they just like want to be a part of this. Like suddenly they all care about curbing the size of government and making it efficient because it's cool. I mean, like, where have you all been, minus Rand Paul, for the last 30 years or so? Y'all got elected and did nothing. You spent a bunch of money, $2 trillion more than we take in, to be precise, and now you want to be trusted with making government more efficient? Pound sand.
We have long lamented the size and scope of the government, that it has grown too large. And let me be frank about this. Government is too big, it does too many things, and it does almost nothing well. And the taxpayers deserve better. They deserve a more responsive government, a more efficient government, one that is leaner and more focused on its primary objectives.
Yes. Look, I realize that we are going to need Congress on board to actually pass some of these reforms, but I'm not really interested in their opinion on how it should be done, mostly because they never did it and have always had the option to. Here's an idea. No elected officials on the Doge until they pass term limits. Make them put some skin in the game. The Doge has a sunset clause, so Congress wants to be in it? Sure, then you got to sunset yourself. Because if they were genuinely interested, like really morally invested in this the way Elon is, they would have done all this Doge stuff a long time ago. But they didn't. I'm holding both parties to the fire on this. Mike Johnson and Kevin McCarthy have had Congress for over 2 years and didn't do anything legitimate to trim government. They have greenlit CR after CR after CR, basically continuing Nancy Pelosi's budget, and never were willing to shut the government down to stop any of it. And that's why I don't trust you guys to have your hands in the Doge. Look, I am glad Mike Johnson met with Musk and Vivek, but the speaker needs to realize that the suggestions Musk and Vivek are making are not really suggestions, but rather mandates from us. Pass the stuff as it's about to be handed to you, or don't. And if you don't, stand by. You'll be primaried. That's all. These next 4 years are not business as usual. We don't want earmarks and funding random stuff and kickbacks to your donors for whatever else and no special projects or anything. Nothing. Just pass these reforms on a single issue basis. That's all. And I know how this conversation goes. Johnson's going to say anything to slow this down. Well, Elon, there's a process we got to do and blah, blah, blah. No, he's going to give like 50 reasons why this and that can't be. Save it. Save it, elected representatives. America just voted to not do things the way things have always been done in D.C. So stop with your D.C. circle speak and get on the ball and get it across the finish line. Have you ever noticed, though, that these guys, these congressmen, they always try to explain away why they can't do this or that? I am so tired of, you got to understand how things work, Carl. For the first time in my life, I don't have to care. We just gave you a mandate to do something. We don't care how complicated you guys made the process. Change the process if it's getting in the way. You make the laws. You're about to have the trifecta of the legislative process. You literally write the laws. Change them. The only reason this doesn't get done in the first 2 weeks of Trump being back in the White House would be because the House and Senate don't actually mean any of the things they have campaigned and raised money on for the last 2 to 4 years. Fact. Period. Full stop. If it doesn't get done, it's because they are crooks, liars, and corrupt people that don't care about the American people. And the primaries need to come stat. This is not about what you elected officials want in D.C. This is about what we want. We are your boss. We are the company. You are the elected officials. You are our employees. Get the job done. I have had it with this conversation. Some of my friends, they're sympathizing with these people. They're a little bit more traditional, but oh, Carl, you're being a little harsh. No, I'm not. If I'm paying your salary, I choke at the amount of dollars I pay in taxes. I don't want to hear about why you can't do what you just told me you were going to do. You don't think these guys just say whatever they think you want to hear, then do whatever they want once they get? They absolutely do. Mike Johnson, perfect example. Okay, I want him to succeed, but he is a perfect example of why I don't think he will. He was one of the most vocal critics of the FISA courts, like 6 months before he became the speaker. Then one of the first things he did once he became speaker, reauthorize the FISA courts. This is what I'm talking about. And then they'll say, well, we have I have new information. I've matured on my opinion. Well, then share it with me. Oh, Carl, I can't. You wouldn't understand or blah, blah, blah. Well, then do what you said you were going to do that you got me to donate money to your campaign for. It's that simple. They try to make it complicated to confuse us, and then they have an excuse why the next time they need to raise money from us. And then they wonder why they have an 18% approval rating. Hey, never in my life have I seen a group of people that work so hard to accomplish nothing. That is why the Doge needs to be totally independent of anyone who is on the government payroll. This should be simple. Day one, cut 75% of the government. Elon already has the list, or probably will have it complete by January 20th. Day two, single issue bills. Hit the House floor for that. Carry the vote live on every single network. Any Republican who votes no, Elon and whoever else wants to, myself included, primary immediately. I'll max out my donations to that. Day three, the same thing in the Senate, then send it right to Trump's desk. Day four, pink slips and eviction notices. Day five, sell the building so there's nowhere to come back to. And there'll be no turning back from that. Don't give me government must maintain function. You guys spend $2 trillion more than you take in. If you functioned, that would not be the case. While current employees of the federal government owe $1.5 billion in taxes, you can't even police your own. Oh, Carl, the tax code is complicated, and that's why they're falling behind. No. Maybe the last 30 years you guys should have thought about simplifying the tax code then, but you didn't. Maybe that bill should be on Trump's desk day one. I'll volunteer to help write it. It'll be one page. You guys just gave $1 billion to Africa, while American citizens in North Carolina are freezing to death 2 months after a hurricane hit them. The government is literally sitting on the perimeter in North Carolina with the good old boys are actually the ones out there building the roads, and the government that functions is trying to shut those roads down because they didn't get a permit. If that's function, I don't want the government to function. You guys pass laws, exempt yourself from most of them. Exempt yourself from the vaccine mandate, Obamacare, FOIA requests, countless other things that we have to live by. You don't function. We'll be fine with less of you, 75% less to be exact. This is the difference between D.C. and the rest of America, and why I don't want any government officials on the Doge. Because almost every single congressman, every bureaucrat or whatever in D.C. feels that America functions to provide for the government. The intent of the Doge is to run the government as if its intention is to provide service for America. That's what our Constitution intends. We have to start looking at the government as, what do these departments do to add value to the taxpayer, instead of justifying its own existence.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.